morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a look at the Badger. The Badger, the British Tier 10 tank destroyer. It's been buffed. It has been buffed, but has the buff made this tank more effective? Now, when I first knew that this tank was being buffed, it sounded like, you know, not a bad buff, more speed, better, I think it was accuracy on the move or whatever it was that it got buffed. But was that the right buff for this tank? Has it made a difference to the tank? Personally, I've been playing the tank. I don't feel anything different. I really don't feel anything different to the tank. Of course, it has a better top speed. It's what I think it's like 4 kilometers per hour, something like that. But it really hasn't made much of a difference. Really, I was hoping they need to buff it, I think, a little bit more, but I don't think that the speed or such was so much the problem of the tank. Yes, it's not the quickest of tanks. The gun is very, very troll, and if you watch Fatness's video on the tank, he's basically saying the same. It was the wrong buff, but I feel that I don't think this is any better than it was, and there's other tanks there's other tanks to buy, or there's other tanks to get that is equally the way you play the tank, like the E3 for example. Like, it plays exactly the same as an E3. However, the E3 is so much more better in every way except for the DPM. Now, the DPM is really nice on the tank, it really is. Now, I was hoping maybe the Hesh, it would be great if it had Hesh. It would be absolutely great. As a British tank destroyer, I think it would be amazing if this tank had the proper Hesh kind of thing, or even the cheap Hesh. But it hasn't got that, and it is a tank that in certain situations does play really well, really well, and that is hold down, face hugging. When you can get your tank into those positions, then yeah, you can actually have a really freaking good battle. But the traverse for me is still really slow, like really slow, and in my opinion, they should have buffed to traverse. Maybe the top speed they should buff probably a bit more than they did, and also the traverse, because the traverse is just so slow. The accuracy, I don't think the accuracy is that bad actually. It's actually really good. It's the same as the aim time. The aim time for a TD and the accuracy for a TD, I think is actually pretty good. Doesn't hit everything, of course it doesn't hit everything, but I just feel that give this tank a bit more speed, and give it a bit more traverse, then I think this tank could be really, really good. Now, for months and months and months, I was wanting the Badger. I wanted the Badger. Everyone, when this tank was testing, everyone just thought this tank was broken. This tank was too OP. The armor profile on it was too overpowered, which, yes, in some situations the armor profile is really good. Now, if you face hug something like this Jaegeru or E100 or anything like that, then they really do struggle to penetrate you. I've been in an E100 before, and a Badger has come to face hug me, and there is literally nothing I could do. The only thing I could really do is spam him with HE. That's the only thing I could do, because it is quite low to the ground, and the middle plate is weak. I mean, you've got the bottom plate, which is quite weak, but against medium tanks and as such, then the bottom plate is actually still quite strong, and it does need sort of APCR or heat or whatever to go through it. However, the sides and the rear, yes, are very, very weak. Now, luckily for our guy here, he's on the corner here, so the bat chat could not do anything. He couldn't circle him, and he got himself into a good position. Now, most games, I mean, he's begging. I don't like this. He's begging for the win here. Please let me win. Don't do that. Don't do that, guys. 8k, no, you're on 5k. Yes, you could get 8k. That's just like me doing 3k, like, and then messaging the team, guys, there's 5 of you left alive, please give me the kills and the damage, because I'll be on 8 or 9k afterwards. Yeah, you can't really do that. So he is now on a 1 versus 1. That was an unfortunate miss there. Now the only thing in this situation, the only thing he can now do is face hug this Conway. Now the Conway has Hesh. If he was just to Hesh him, not even try the AP or anything like that, if he was just to Hesh him, then this would be game over. He would probably be able to kill him with the 1 Hesh shot, but he's trying AP, and now because he is using the big gun, he doesn't quite have the DPM that this Badger has got. The DPM, as I've said, the DPM is really, really nice on the tank, very nice indeed. 8k, he didn't nowhere near, he won the game, but it was nowhere near 8k, but it was still a decent win. It was still a very good win, and the IS-4 actually had a really good battle there. So Anti, don't beg for damage. I don't like that, but it was a nice game, and it does show how well the Badger can play. Now there are a few maps for the Badger, such as Mines. If you can get on Mines map, yeah, maps like that is absolutely fantastic because of the armor profile. It is really, really good, and like I said, people do struggle to penetrate you, even with heat, even with the premium ammunition. Of course, the bottom plate is, as I've said, is easily penetrable. The sides are penetrable as well at certain angles, especially from the big guns. They can just easily shoot the front of you, but they do have to switch to Pramo to be able to penetrate you. Hardly anyone can shoot your front plate with the normal standard round, but if you, like I said, if you can get yourself into a hold down position, you have that great DPM that this tank has got. You have the armor profile, you've got the 10 degrees of gun depression as well, but I am still disappointed in the tank. It was one of those tanks, as I said at the beginning of the video, it's one of those tanks that I was waiting for a very long time, and then I end up getting the tank, and I've never been so disappointed in a tank. It was one of those that's just like, why did I wait so long to get this tank? It's not even that good. It's not even that good. It's only good in certain situations. Now that goes for a few tanks. There is no bad tier 10 as such, but it's only good in certain situations. And when people were saying that this tank was broken, yes, in certain situations it is OP. Like I said, if you are hold down on mines at the hill there, then yes, it is OP. But the majority of the time, the tank is not OP, and I just think that the buff that they gave it was it the, I don't know if it was the wrong buff, but it just wasn't enough. I mean, 4 kilometers an hour, it didn't really do anything, to be honest. Maybe 10 kilometers an hour, maybe that may have done the job. It might have been too OP, you don't know, but other than that, I think the accuracy is good. I think the aim time is good. For me, it's just the speed, the traverse is really slow, and yeah, it's still disappointing tank. It is still a disappointing tank, and I mean, these games we're actually going to watch that are actually really, really good battles, like we've just seen, 7.2k, and then we're going to have this battle here, which he's actually farming at the back. Not the best positions for a Badger, but he is managing to farm up that damage, and he hasn't taken any shots so far. That, I was about to say, that would be an epic blind shot if he got that shot, and he does actually penetrate and he does kill him. That was a very good shot, very, very good shot. The IS-4 there, being an IS-4, doing IS-4 things, being troll, bouncing from the side there, and again, as you can see, he's hiding that bottom plate. He's using this ridgeline, and this is the kind of best position for a Badger, hiding that bottom plate, using that gun depression, and then once you do that, then you will have a really good battle. But of course, you need to aim your shots. You need to make that DPM count. You have to make that DPM count. It's got good DPM, very good DPM, but you need to make that DPM count, of course, by not getting shot. Look your surroundings as well. Always look for your surroundings. Look at your surroundings. Have you got cover? Is your team there to help you cover? Because if you haven't got those surroundings and tanks get around you, then yeah, you're just going to get absolutely torn apart. Now the mouse is going up towards him. He could go towards the mouse. I mean, at this point in the game, it's a 2 versus 5. It's a very difficult win. He's going to push towards holds this T57 heavy. And as I've said, getting close to the tanks is absolutely vital in this tank. Getting very close to them, not showing your side, because of course your side armor and your rear armor is not the greatest at all, and you could be heshed from the side, or you could be HE'd from the side and from the rear. Now he has to take that IS-4 out. Of course he does manage to take him out, but now the Mouse is coming. The Mouse is quite a tall tank, doesn't have the best of penetration, the best DPM. So what he really needs to do here is get up close to this Mouse, not let this Mouse get around. Once he gets up close to this Mouse, if he can sort of face hug him, or not face hug him, well, not side, sorry, he has to face hug him. If he can face hug him, then there really is not going to be much this Mouse can do. And the Mouse knows it. The Mouse knows it. That is why he is just spamming him with HE now. And unfortunately for him, he does die. 1 versus 3, there's still a lot of damage there as well, but he decides to push down. Maybe it was the wrong time to push down, but you know, he still got the damage. He got a couple of blind shots there as well, but nevertheless, it just shows the weaknesses of the tank and the strength of the tank, which is why I wanted to show that game. Now, Wargaming's marketing is very, very good. I love the way that they buff a tank and then outright sell the tank a couple of days later for 17,500 gold. So yes, it's a good price, but are you getting a great tank? I wouldn't agree, no. If anything, I would just go play the E3. The E3 is much better in every single way, other than the DPM, than the Badger. So it's, go get the E3. I'm still disappointed with the Badger. I mean, sometimes you can make it work, sometimes you can't. The games I had in it didn't make it work. I just hope Wargaming gives it the buff it actually needs. Make it maybe a little bit more quicker, maybe make the traverse quicker. But you know, it is what it is. I don't think they're going to actually touch the tank now for a very long time. So would I recommend the tank? Absolutely not. Just go buy yourself an E3. Hope that helped. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I will catch you all soon. Bye bye. With